right, welcome back to the latest episode of Citizens United. I'm your host, John, with my friend and host. Hey, Noah, what's going on? Not much. Gail's here and Robin's here.
Hello.
Hello.
So they're in the background. You'll hear them. Yeah, not much.
Yeah, not much.
Kind of like the fall weather. I do.
I do. I love it. I do. I was so excited when we had the thunder and lightning storm yesterday.
Oh, yeah. That came
God.
out of nowhere.
That was amazing.
Yeah, that one. Remember, I was doing dishes or something.
Yeah.
I told you it really. Hi, Kim, and hi, Chris.
Hi, Kim.
Hi, James.
James.
Anyways, today we might as well get right to it.
Yeah.
Because he's waiting, and I don't want to keep him waiting. Yeah. We have a guest today. He's a fan of the show, or I don't even call him a fan. That's not the right thing. He's a member. Yeah. He's like a part of it. Yeah. Like we don't have we said members.
Yeah.
Of the show.
Well, he was a supporter. He's a huge supporter. He's awesome. I don't even know him, and he's awesome. Yeah. Like, just from a few seconds.
Let's bring him in. Let's bring Bill in here. Hey, Bill.
How you doing, folks?
Hi.
Doing good. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. I know you've been such a strong supporter of this stuff. You know, I know you've been while you watch us and we talk all the time, sometimes on Messenger, and you've listened to all the stories, you've listened to them all. And let me see what I got. Oh, Tina's here. Hello, Tina.
Hey, Tina.
You've listened to all the stories, and I'm so happy, and I know you are, Noelle. Everyone around here.
I am so happy.
Yeah, it's incredibly brave. My goodness, yeah.
You know what though? There are so many guys who have gone through this. It's just that they don't want to speak on it. I know of a few of them. It's just hard for them to speak on it. So that's amazing that you're on here and you're going to do that.
Stacy says hi to us and to Bill.
Hi, Stacy.
All right, Bill. You know what? I'm gonna let you tell the story, and we'll interject with questions or anything you want. Guys, anyone around the table? Robin, when you're set?
Yes.
Bill, go ahead. Tell us your story. Let me say something first before you start. I swear, doing this show, remember how it all started? It all started with political corruption, whatever, and then all of a sudden, people started having stories and stuff and everything, and it's just insane that I can sit in a room sometimes and I'm the only one who hasn't had that story. We've sat in a room before with 12 people, and I was the only one, and there was a man in there too. There's a guy in there too. Bill, you're very courageous and awesome, and for all this, so let us know, man. How did it go? No, go ahead.
Oh, and if at any point something gets too much for you or overwhelming, you can totally take a break, say need a break or whatever.
I should be good. I'm a whole lot better than I was earlier last week. So,
okay, great.
But I'll share that a little bit just to continue on. You ready?
We're ready, Bill.
All right. I'm now 60 years of age, and I am a victim and a survivor of child abuse. It happened when I was like 10 and 11 years of age. It started out, I'm just going to keep it with one aspect of it, but it started out with a neighbor who was a school teacher. Was introduced to him, knew him, was introduced to him by my brother, and everything seemed to be on the up and up. And I don't know if I'm sure everybody knows who Paul Barr is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's the attorney. He's looked into my case and like that. We have shared similar stories. But he lured me up into his bedroom, and I just thought that it was, he wanted to show me some things, and I didn't think nothing of it. And he closed the door, and he proceeded to start rubbing my shoulders and stuff.
And you were 10 or 11 at this time?
What's that?
You were 10 or 11 at this time?
Yeah, I was going on 11 because it was the summer that I was going into 5th grade. And, just one thing led to another. And it just wasn't that one time. There were other times. But the thing that really gets me, and I beat myself up for years about it, was being a neighbor, knowing my family. He told me that no one would ever believe me because I'm just a kid. And the fact that my parents had such a good relationship with him, his family, it made it difficult. Everybody was like respecting this guy. And he was a school teacher. And it was hard. There's probably, I think I've documented 11 to 12 different advances, either at his house, in his garage, or while on school grounds. After that first time, it wrecked my childhood. To this day, I have an issue with someone walking up to primarily on my right side, because I'm deaf in my right ear. So anybody that walks up on my right side, and primarily a male, it's got the possibility for a trigger point, and it had for many years. Because of what had happened back in school, I failed 8th grade because I didn't want to go to school. I was afraid of that. He was an elementary school teacher. I was obviously in junior high, but it was really getting at me. And I found ways to just block it out instead of talking about it. Those things came into acting out, being defiant to my parents, picking different friends. And when I did graduate, and going on to furthering my education, I became like a wild child. I was, it was all partying. It was, promiscuous behavior, so on and so forth. And even though I graduated, my father made a point to take me back home. And after I got my associates, to take me back home.
And do you mind me asking if he's still alive, this guy, this teacher? Is he still alive?
Yes, he is.
Is he still in the area?
He's in the Franklinville, Olean area, and obviously I'm up here in Niagara Falls. So I always am on. There's been a few times I've gone back to Franklinville. I still have some family in Franklinville. But I am always leery. I was down there for the Maple Festival in late April, May, and my girlfriend was with me, and we talked about it, but I was constantly on the lookout. And when we went into one of the rooms, it kind of shook me because that used to be his classroom. And, those are the triggers that I may never escape, So I've gone I went a good 40 years without coming out. And it affected a lot of my relationships with men and women. I seem to have a better relationship getting to know women than I do men. I don't have the trusting aspect of men. You really have to have a great commonality. And I'm thankful that I have 6 or 7 that are really, that I can like really bond with. They're open. They've heard my story. I've, come clean with them. But it's been a driving force for most of my life. I've counseled kids for years. I worked with them. I went on and got my bachelor's degree in psychology. I've gone and got my master's degree in criminal justice administration.
Good for you.
But I'm happiest giving coffee to John when he comes into Tim Hortons, or getting gas at Delta Sonic. That part of me is, I don't want to get paid for that no more. Those are, for me, that's about volunteering. And I was doing a lot of that before COVID. I was doing a lot of public speaking, going into Niagara Falls School, going out to SUNY Brockport, RIT. This summer, I did some classes I taught some classes at NTRIP on restorative justice. So these are the things that I've used to fuel my healing process.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. The dogs, my dad's walking around, stomping around. My dogs are going a little crazy.
So that's fine.
We like it.
But it's
the dogs.
But where I'm at now is, as a survivor, I'm just trying to each day make process. I process it. I've been doing counseling through Horizons solidly for 2 years now, but there's been some on and off counseling sessions and like that. And, it wasn't until I had surgery for carpal tunnel and I was, came out of the anesthesia, that it was almost like it cleared my mind and everything became so focused, and I didn't understand. And I was in a relationship with someone at the time, and for weeks I'd get up in the middle of the night terrors, and I'd be pacing around, and I just never knew what was going on, and everything was so vivid. I learned that if you are in deep enough anesthesia and your mind is open, those memories, it sounds weird, but those memories come back. Anything that you've blocked out, they come back, and they come back in sometimes a painful state. I mean, I have gone through fits of rage in the last year or so where I couldn't remember what happened. I just tore up my bedroom. I had that flashback, and I was fighting him off. So
that happened to my brother, who when he was under anesthesia, he has PTSD from the war in Iraq, and when he went under anesthesia and he came out of it, all of his memories and all that stuff came back 10 times more clear of things.
Yep. And, that just helped me more to get clarity, write things down. I think I got like 3 journals in the last, those composition books, composition books that I've just got filled with processing, just thoughts, just whatever, because that's what I needed to do. What I do now is, as I said, I do the counseling, but I'm very much into victims' rights now, working with getting the word out with restorative justice, because we as victims, John's married to one, he's Noel, you are, me, and many others. We need to have that voice, and we lose that voice because if there is a criminal act, or if hate to say it, but someone like Nick D'Angelo,
no, go ahead.
The victims don't have a voice.
Yeah.
The courts are dealing with that, and they're shutting everybody up.
Yeah.
For me, it's about teaching people about restorative practices, about teaching restorative justice, and bringing that advocacy to the victims, that you can help them gain a voice. Yeah. Because it's not, when we are survivors, we have to find a way to heal. The courts just let the justice system as it is, just lets people move on. There's a sentence, so on, you know. And I thought about it this weekend, where I saw in the news where that guy that killed that woman and cut her up, he got sentenced. Yeah. It's all about him.
Right,
who is speaking up for the victims? Who's speaking up for her family?
Right. Yeah. The news don't want to
go
do
the rest of their life not having a loved one.
Yeah.
And someone like myself, I have to go the rest of my life knowing that, you know, I always say it, I'm damaged goods.
You know, I want everybody watching this, if you could, everybody watching this, tag the news stations, tag our local news stations. See if maybe they can learn a thing or two.
Yeah.
Seriously.
No, definitely. I mean, I you know, we talked about this before. I'm not with Bill, but around this table. Did you ever notice, Bill, these crimes, sex crimes, things like this, they are not taken seriously at all, in my mind, at all, really. Because if I were to have my garage, if someone went into my car right now outside and ripped it all up and went in there and went through things, people would say, oh my God, I always say this all the time, it drives me crazy. I've heard it. I feel so violated going through my car. But if someone gets assaulted, sexually assaulted, raped, whatever, pretty much it doesn't have that same feeling to it for people. You know what I mean? Like, no one gets it.
Seems like
I don't know how I get it from Robin. I know I do. That's where I hear it all. Everything here, I've seen it. And man, it drives me crazy.
The things that people get outraged about sometimes, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
But
I think with this, when it comes to a sexual assault of any kind, you have to look at the fact that everybody wants to focus, well, maybe you shouldn't have been in that situation. You shouldn't have been out so late. You shouldn't have been, you know, especially for women, they shouldn't have been dressed a certain way. You know, and that's BS.
Right.
You have every right to.
Why can't anybody dress a certain way? Why can't people dress how they want without having to worry about being inappropriately touched or raped? It makes no sense.
And you know, everybody has a there's a sadness when there's a child involved. But then they're forgotten.
Yeah.
I know I was. I mean, it was partly my own fault because I didn't speak on it. But people don't understand. You know, when Como created this crime victims things because of the churches and Boy Scouts and schools, that's when I reached out to Paul Barr. You know, and
he's helped a lot of people.
If you have an active case, it's still going on, but Kathy Hochul shut it down.
Yeah. And we had asked Assemblyman Morinello to redo. We asked Assemblyman Morinello, you know, we need to redo the CVA, the Child Victims Act. You know, what are you doing? He goes, I'm sorry, there's no appetite for it anymore. So
there's no appetite for it.
That is really sick. That's what he told us. Remember?
Yeah.
He said no appetite for it anymore.
Where did you get that?
It probably just in Albany. There's no appetite in that building, in that assembly.
Look who they have working for our court. Look who they have working in our court system. people like Nick D'Angelo, a rapist himself, and Janelle Faso, whose husband's a rapist and she helps rapists. Like, look who we have to go to and trust that they're going to help. And I've had multiple people come up to me and say, you know, Noelle, and tell me their rape stories and how the Fasos have let their rapists off the hook, multiple different people. So that's what we have working in our justice system alone. And we are supposed to feel comfortable enough to go there and have hope that they're going to do something.
I got to ask you something, Bill. Go ahead, Robin. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I have a question for you, Bill. When you were working in the schools with the kids, how did you go about doing that? Because that's something that I know a lot of us would be interested in doing.
When the last time I was in the Niagara Falls school, it was around prom time, and it was more of, and I was associated with the Niagara County Sheriff. So it was a little group of a couple Niagara County Sheriff's deputies. There was a retired state police deputy, myself. And really what we were trying to do is talk to those who were going to be going to proms, how to protect themselves, because across the country, that's a prime time for the date rape drugs to be done, all these things. And it's just things that we wanted to, assure them that there's safe avenues to take care of themselves, the cell phones, everything. And the message was relatively, for the most part, was open. There was a lot of questions, a lot of interaction, and that's what I look for, is the interaction, and try to get them to see and bring them and get them to, not be like so many other victims and not say anything, just go and shower and try to go on with their life. And it doesn't happen.
The amount of victims is just overwhelms me sometimes when we look back, and I look back at old shows from a year ago. The amount of people we have met, not on here, after the fact, it's in the 30, 40 people, and they're just all here. They're here. They're not counting in this. It drives me crazy. Like sometimes I can't wrap my head around the fact of how many people I'm in a room sometimes, and I'm thinking to myself, I bet you, I can't imagine how many people in here probably are affected.
And there's been people who have told us stories that, that didn't even know that was abuse at the time, like there's.
Yeah. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know for 30 years.
Yeah.
I just thought I was dating older guys when I was 12.
Yeah. Now, is something going to hopefully be done about this guy? This pig?
Obviously statute of limitations is over with.
Right.
My civil case is still going on. There was one other person that did and this is where we're at, and it's been going on for almost a year now, there was another student that actually gave a
deposition,
a statement that it happened to him, and he died from cancer. And now the school's insurance the school and their attorneys and the insurance are saying, we can't acknowledge that documentation because we don't have that opportunity to interview him, which others say that's not the case.
When this is all over with, if I have permission, I would like to blast this guy's name everywhere.
Well,
but there has been I always fear, which has happened since I've been in Niagara Falls once, where we came face to face.
Oh.
And that was very difficult because I was working at the time, and it was hard to get out from where I was at. So I take it as a chance You know, it's an hour and a half, 2 hour drive from Niagara Falls to Franklinville. So, but I know that his brother has had reached out to me one time just to become friends, and I blocked him on Facebook just because I didn't want that issue.
Let me ask you something.
Sure.
Like, well, I don't have little ones no more, but those that do, how do you teach? Because, you know, I want to go into schools and tell them to watch out for the teachers, and I'm sure they won't allow that. But I mean, right? But I mean, because that's the problem. Teachers, all these people that are, oh my God, I mean, you're made to, you're supposed to respect that. I'm supposed to. I'm never supposed to talk back. I'm not supposed to do anything. Is there a way, Bill? Is there anything, like, how do I tell my kids, like what's that line? Like, there's a line, and I don't know.
You have to, this is what I try to instruct is at an early age, tell your kids to establish boundaries. Not let anybody get into that unless they are mom, dad, whoever, that they come within that boundary. Yeah. And be strong about it. And if somebody does violate that boundary, speak out about it. We have to begin. It's sad that with our society, we have to start teaching our children at 4, 5, 6 years of age to establish those boundaries. It's natural for, it's natural for John. You've got, was it 2 grandchildren with Miss Tina now?
Yes, we do.
It would be easy for one of them to become comfortable with a neighbor. They see them. Yeah. Christina and Josh could have, and I've worked with both of them. That's how I know them. And to be friendly with them, but you don't really know. Yeah. And it's that time that you need to be able to establish and say, you need to establish and talk to your children about those boundaries.
I talk to my kids about
it. Anytime that you feel you're in a vulnerable, and teach them about vulnerability.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think that any kid is too young. I'd like, to me, like I've had somebody say this to me before, like, oh, you're too young to be talking about that. To me, I don't think that I think I don't care how young they are. They, as soon as they can understand things and know words, I feel like if I can talk to them about it, which I have many times, and I'm going to talk to them about it, I feel like a kid is not too young to know what to look out for and what to do or what to say if something bad happens to them or somebody does something wrong, or to tell them the signs to look out for and stuff. So I've always been very open with my kids, but I mean, what do you think? Do you think kids are, a certain age is too young, or, because I don't, but if you,
I think the parent needs to be a good judge of that.
Yeah.
They know what they can talk to their children about.
Yeah.
But I mean, I wouldn't go in if it was me or you, I wouldn't go into get into the details, but I would just about your life or anything, but establish that you need to set boundaries.
Right.
That's the biggest thing. I mean, my daughter works for the Cattaraugus County Public Defender's Office, and she's like one of the top office people. So there's times that, and we've talked about it. She knows about my whole story. I've come out, we've talked, and there's times that her skin crawls because of some of the things that she has to, and it's sickening because she has to do her job.
Right. Yeah. Right.
But at the same time, it's tough for her because she has that, she thinks about me, she thinks about my story, but she's got a job to do.
Right. It's not an easy job.
But yet she will also try to get all the information she can of what's the bigger picture. Is something else going on when those things happen?
Right.
And, you know, that's the biggest thing, that if we want to break a cycle, that's where it's really at, right. Is understanding why someone is being a certain way.
We got to get
and finding out.
Bill, we got to get to people like me, people that might have never, believe me, I probably knew people. I'm seeing now, I swear to God, it feels like 90% of people have been affected in this way, but I know that's a crazy number, but maybe, I don't know. But people like myself who never were affected have to start learning that this is not
we have to start. People
they got to learn. Like, it takes time before people can. I mean, I learned it with Robin, and I had learned it the hard way because I didn't know it was coming, and it came out, and and unfortunately, I know the two people that did this to her, and I want to kill them. But what are you gonna do? It doesn't help because I'm gonna go to jail. They don't. The whole thing. But like, man, people like me that never had that got to wake up. Because it shouldn't be so hard to come out. It shouldn't be so hard to say things.
No, it shouldn't.
As far as talking to kids too, I mean, just my own personal opinion as a victim of childhood sexual abuse, I think it's never too early, because I think you want to get kids and talk to them before they build a sense of embarrassment. True. Because absolutely. If you get them before that, you can talk about things in a different way.
Get to them and educate them before somebody can do something.
Right.
Absolutely.
Everything's been normalized, and it's kind of sick. I mean, we talked about this one time, Bill. Music normalized having grown people with young girls. I mean, how many times all those songs in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, that's all they talk about. Yeah. Is having.
Once you start listening to the lyrics and realizing what they are,
So we got to do something too with that. We got to get people that. Because somebody got to wake up. This has to stop being so uncomfortable. I mean, I know it's uncomfortable. It shouldn't be uncomfortable for me, but I know it's uncomfortable. What I'm saying is, like, the victim, the person that's trying to get better or trying to become a survivor, right? I shouldn't be the idiot out there making it hard, is all I'm saying. And I just hope people will watch you and listen to you, Bill, because for a man.
This has to be my favorite podcast.
Yeah, this is unbelievable.
I mean, it's amazing to have a man come out and tell the story.
We've been talking about this forever. Yeah. For 2 years. We've been saying, oh gosh, we hope we could find a male, a guy that would
come on and talk about it.
And I understand, because I know how guys are. Being one, they're idiots.
Yeah. And just like I had mentioned when I just came on, we talked privately. I've missed a few days of work because I was triggered. And I've had to do some emergency counseling because of that, because I went to an event with some friends, and what was supposed to be a fun, joyous time, who would think? A little bit of drinks, people are drinking, playing bingo, winning prizes. It's supposed to be fun. And then you have this individual that's parading around, dancing around, and probably is more for the women's pleasure, to keep everybody lively and everything like that. But then he touched two people that I know, and coming up between me and kind of brought, and coming into that boundary and breaking those that little space that I call my heaven. I sucked it up that night, but immediately I cried out the next morning and said, listen, this is what happened. This is what's going on with me, and I spoke to my girlfriend. I spoke to other people, called work. It took me all day to reach out to a counselor. And now that, because my counselor had not come back from, she hadn't fully come back from vacation yet. So it was one of those situations where, and I have been out since. And I may not go back until next Tuesday, because I've applied for FMLA. just so I can get my head straight.
Yeah.
Because I can't, I've been up other than two specific times this week. I've been living in my living room and kitchen because I don't want to go out in society. I don't feel I can trust people. That's how bad triggering can affect you. Even with all the counseling, all the EMDR that I've done, it's still that one act of taking that feathery scarf and wrapping it around someone I know. It didn't happen to me, but that's what happened to me as a child.
Right.
Having somebody come up from behind me and grab me by the neck.
Well, people shouldn't be touching people regardless. Like, I just don't feel like, okay, it's supposed, whatever, I get it, they're supposed to be having fun with it, but it's just, isn't that kind of like a thing that people should know? Just don't put your hands on people you don't know.
Well, and that's one of those things.
I think there's a mixture. Excuse me, Rob. I think that when there's a mixture of alcohol and other things going on, I think all people's senses are.
Yeah.
And I think John was saying it perfectly. I mean, I think that there needs to be more respect out there by people who haven't been affected by PTSD for those of us who have, because you don't know in a situation like that when, behavior like that might trigger someone. I mean, that's just irresponsible behavior in public, anywhere, but certainly in an environment where you don't know if someone has those triggers.
People should learn more about PTSD too, because I feel like a lot of people feel like it's only for people who have been to war, or you know what I mean. I don't think people understand that PTSD can.
Well, PTSD isn't looked at by a lot of people as for real.
Right.
We look at the people who came back from the war and stuff like that, and they have PTSD, and they're like, "Oh, bull crap," or "Oh, that's just an act." They just, you know what I mean? It wasn't even believed.
Like mental illness, people still.
I once again, man, I go back to people that sit in my shoes. It's got to, like, for example, if you're the husband or boyfriend of the woman, or the opposite way, the girlfriend of the guy, you got to realize there's times that they don't want you to be. There might be times they don't want you in that space too. You got to realize, calm down and relax and stop being an asshole, because sometimes I'm hearing this and that's where they just don't get it. You know what I mean? No, you're not. They don't want you near you at this time because of whatever's going. If you understand that, then it's easy.
Right.
I think. And big reason for us, it was the YWCA that was really good, and it helped. I talked to them, and I'll tell you, man, it took me only about 30 minutes to get it. Like, to say, okay.
I wish everybody did it.
Well, sometimes, I got to respect. Robin doesn't want me up near, like real close. I sit back. That's all. But these people don't give a damn, because you look at the punter and all this asshole, the stuff with the bill and all that. And I'm not the Bills when I'm bringing them into it. The punter thing. I watch people defending them.
Oh, yeah. Without even knowing. People say stuff without even knowing things. It's so sick.
Grow up, man. These people got to stop. They got to
start listening. They got to start being more defensive as just as defensive of the victim as they are the predator.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Bill.
Before I go, I just wanted to share this with you. If anybody is interested and they have any concern or any desire to want to reach out, I would just ask them to contact the Erie County Restorative Coalition and, set themselves up with a workshop and start working with the circles and working with community youth circles and things of that nature. I also got an email just before I came on today from Bonnie Kane. She deals with the Niagara Alliance to Restorative Practices here in Niagara County. She's out near Lockport. She sent me, we did some things back in last October, and she sent me an email stating that there was, they're putting a program together through NARP they're looking for mentors, and she wants me to help be one of those and help educate in how to be a mentor to primarily the youth that I'm interested in helping.
Wow.
And it's mostly the boys. So
thank you.
I will be like that. I will be getting back to her tonight or tomorrow and giving her that information.
All right, Bill, before we let you go, because I know we kept you, we always do this with our guests. They always end up 10 minutes longer. Are you all right? The Bills, I know you're a Bills fan, right?
Yes, I am. And a Sabres fan.
Everything all right?
With the Bills?
No, I don't know. The fans, I'm reading all the stuff they're believing.
No, I'm perfectly fine.
Yeah, right.
I'm perfectly fine, yeah.
Long season.
It's for me, I look forward to doing this because I feel that if I can get something out, get the message out, then it may open eyes that, hey, here's this old man that's still being suffered from something that happened in his youth. You know, it's not, and it might open up eyes that, you know, we can fight back and we can overcome. It's just a constant uphill battle, but it's a matter of me recognizing those, and I think I'm getting better at it. But I'm trying to take a bad thing and do all positive with teaching, being there as a victim's advocate.
I would love to do that.
I'm constantly, whenever I see, Noelle just posting stuff about Nick D'Angelo or whatever, I'm constantly watching it, reading all her material. I talked to, I've reached out to Katie Rickford.
Yeah.
I've reached out to her and, you know, tried to, because she's got an uphill battle with the courts, and I've tried to do a restorative, you know, education with her, because her and her children are going to have to heal. You know, there's so much that injustice that's going on. So I'm still trying to do these things, but a lot of them are behind the scenes now.
Well, thank you for after everything you've been through. You're still out here helping others too. You know, I mean, it takes a lot.
A lot of guts,
so thank you.
I appreciate you being here. Bill.
Anytime you need me, every time you want, I'll be around. I watch you every Monday. So
good. We're going to reach out because you got a lot of information that we need to share, because maybe we can get something going.
We need to meet you in person too.
We'll all get together. We definitely do. We got to get this going. We got a lot of people to try to get to know some stuff. I don't know. Maybe they're just ignorant to it. They need to get it. They need to find out. Bill, you're the best, man. Thank you.
Thank you so
much. You're welcome. Everybody have a good night.
You too. Take care, Bill.
Okay.
So that was
oh my God. I literally, I had so many like questions, but I almost cried like 5 times. I had to stop myself.
I know.
I couldn't even speak. Like, he was so good. Like, I mean, everything like with, I mean, wow, that takes a lot. That takes a lot from a guy.
From a guy, I know how.
I mean, it takes a lot from anybody, but from a man especially, and then to help as many people as he does, and holy shit, we need more people like
people don't understand PTSD. People don't understand PTSD, and it could be from all kinds of stuff. It's not just a sexual thing or a war thing. I mean, there's all different things that trigger people. Yeah, and people don't believe in it.
Isn't that crazy? They don't believe in it.
It's like mental health. People still think mental health is a thing, not a thing. You know,
they don't realize that there's more, that there's physical ramifications to this stuff. It's not just like it. You know, people think it's just in your head. It's not just in your head. When you feel like you can't breathe, you can't breathe.
That's
like,
real. Yeah,
there's nothing for real.
The mental part within the physical part, and I mean, it triggers it.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we take our break? Yeah. We're a little over, and we'll be right back. Got some clips to read for you guys to look. We got an incredible clip of a teacher, I think, in Texas.
Yeah.
15 seconds of insanity. And I'll have to probably play it a couple times so you can really understand what the hell's being said. All right, we'll be back in a moment. right, we're back. That was again, Bill Keller. What an incredible, good guy.
We just talked about him the whole break.
Yeah, the whole break.
It's so hard not to talk about him. He's such an inspiration. My God.
Yeah, and I mean, we didn't even, we didn't even reach the tip of the iceberg.
Right.
I'm sure of, I don't know.
That's only a little bit of it too. You know what I mean?
Go ahead, Ron.
I thought it was really impactful the way he talked about how it had ripple effects throughout his life for so many years afterwards.
Yeah. Well, you explained it when we did when the time on the podcast that you told your story, how it affected every single part of your life after 12 years old or whatever it was when it ended. With the one, and of course it extended elsewhere. No, I know.
I'm just looking for an
Oh, it looks good.
That's done. You know what? Anybody who has like anxiety or PTSD or whatever, or any type of thing, these help so much. These coloring books. What is the Mandela one? The adult coloring books. Holy crap! They help relax you. They do.
They do.
So we were talking about
Bill brought up another good thing. I'm sorry. Journaling.
Yes.
That was something that my counselor from the YWCA had me doing for a while, and it was very, very helpful for anybody out there who hasn't tried that.
Yeah, journaling. Anything I feel like a lot of things to do with coloring, writing, stuff like that. It's very, very helpful. And you know what? If somebody decides to open up one day, want to talk, let them. Even if you don't want to hear, let them talk about it. Let them talk about it. Because there's been times where people are like, I don't want to hear about it and stuff like that. Like, just even if you don't want to hear about it, let them talk. It helps somebody.
Right. Yeah. Just listen. Yeah. And there's got to be a lot more of that too. A lot more listening and maybe just keep it. Just listen.
There's got to be more listening and hearing people out before
jumping
to.
Half the time they don't even let you get a sentence out.
No.
Of course.
Even if they know you're right, they have their mind.
Just even if you want to even if you want to start talking, I don't care what the hell. They just won't even just stop.
No. Yeah.
And listen. You gotta find listeners.
Yeah.
Listeners are important. It is, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know if you guys know Joyce Meyer. She's on TV every day. She's a preacher. Her whole church is based on her sexual abuse from her father that went on for years. Physical beatings, but sexual, and how she overcame it. And every day she's on TV and she talks about that. She overcame it. It's an amazing thing. She's an amazing woman.
Yeah, if you haven't overcame it yet, if you're still struggling, that's okay.
Yeah. No, we're I had said something earlier online, and really that's all we are. That's all this podcast really is. Basically, all right, we'll go after whatever kind of corruption we see, and we don't care where it leads. But really, the core of it's this.
Yeah.
What just happened there?
People came to us because their stories alone, because of their sexual assault stories. Because they even said, like, there's no other place to go to, no one else to listen or talk about this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it'll happen all the time. I don't care.
And counseling has a stigma to it sometimes. That's why people don't want to go.
Yeah.
Because
they're counseling.
Yeah. There's a stigma that's got to be taken away.
I know, and it's 2022, and it's still not gone, right?
No.
Still not gone. All right, I want to play something for everyone. We were talking about how normalized everything is. This is a teacher a high school teacher. I believe it was in Texas. Definitely somewhere. I want to say, I'm pretty sure. But anyways, what's the difference? She's talking to her high school students. And see if you guys can hear this it's 15 seconds. Let's get it out.
She's talking about a pedophile.
Yeah, she's talking about
she's telling a student about a pedophile, what says or what not to say.
Yeah, what not to say and how to. Here we go.
Stop it, Diego.
Yeah, no,
we're not going to call them that. We're going to call them MAPs.
No.
Minor attracted persons. No. So don't judge people just because they want to have sex with a 5-year-old.
So I don't know if you heard that. MAPs, M-A-P.
Oh,
I think it was
minor attracted
people. Yeah. Here, let's listen to that.
Stop it, Diego.
Yeah, no,
we're not going to call them that. We're going to call them MAPs.
No.
Minor attracted persons. No. So don't judge people just because they want to have sex with a 5-year-old.
Minor attracted
persons. Yeah. And so there you go. I mean, that's kind of lower work. I mean, that's extreme, obvious.
She should be hung, to be honest.
That's extreme. But that's what I'm saying about how it's just no one cares.
Well,
it's just
the pedophile's feelings, the person who harms and rapes and abuses a child and breaks the law. Let's let's not hurt their feelings. We gotta go easy on them. Like,
yeah, take it easy, and also
and what kind of message does that send to the kid?
Right. That's
when we think of a special name so that we don't hurt the feelings of the pedophile, what message
did you hear the kid though? You could hear them saying, "What the heck?"
Yeah,
but
I bet the kids who have been abused aren't saying that.
No,
I bet the kids who have been abused children are probably thinking, "Oh, and here's why I shouldn't tell."
Yeah.
Because it's not a pedophile anymore. Now it's a map. Okay,
maybe
maybe
they're thinking, okay, now I definitely can't go and tell this teacher what
maybe
she's not going to help me out.
Really goes to shut them up. Why would they speak out?
Right.
So I thought that was just that just all goes back to like the whole thing of us not taking it seriously.
Yeah. So when people like Ken Hamilton and Tony Farina and Nick D'Angelo, fuck him, and excuse my language, and when they want to say, well, it took them this long to come forward. Why are they taking so long to come forward? Do some education.
Yeah, good old Parlato, man.
Yeah,
I'd like to have him come on here since he reached out.
Yeah,
because I'd like to have him.
I spoke to him. Yeah,
I would like him to. I'd like him to come on here, and he should probably apologize or explain. You don't have to apologize.
I would like
explain.
To have a conversation with him on
That's why. That would be good. Let him explain his side. Great. Then we reached out to Janelle too. Am I right?
Yeah. Well, yes, we did.
Parlato's the only one so far who said that he would be willing to speak and do something. But Janelle, I doubt she. Because Janelle's excuse was, "Oh, they wouldn't believe me anyways." How do you know?
We need to have.
That's how you know you're guilty.
Right. You gotta have. If Parlato, if he wanted to come on, that'd be great. So, there'd be no attack. I just wanted to speak. I wanted to tell. I'd ask him though. What do you mean by what you said about Noelle sitting next to me? Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted an updated story that he promised everyone. Because they put in all that writing that once Nick was charged, there was no story at all.
Right.
So I would like him to at least, I'm sure there's going to be a lot about me, whatever, but at least continue the story, make sure that story is told. But now the guy that was being defended has been charged with the 12 rape charges, including a child.
Yeah, and it's right. And then, you know what else is great? Before I put up this one thing, that's kind of a victory for it never goes far enough, but isn't it great? And I remember this back. It was during when it was really going on Facebook and things were happening. The people talking about, and this always kills me, worried about the pedophiles' money.
Oh yeah,
they get very upset over that. Very upset over the money.
I don't. For
no
everybody
one cares about the money.
No, ask me how much money I got right now. Ask me how much money I could have taken from things. No, I'm broke. I don't got nothing.
Yeah, Parlato was getting ready to pay up.
I could have. Yeah, actually, at one point too, D'Angelo reached out to someone asking if I would be willing to take money in the beginning of this. Not to my lawyer, but he reached out to somebody else.
So yeah, no one wants money. Robin, you know the deal.
No.
Money means nothing. It has meant nothing, and you don't get any anyway.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Kim. Oh, my boss said nice things about you too.
So yeah, there's that. Here's something that happened that was pretty good from the federal government. I guess the two losers, Democrats and Republicans, got together to do something decent, kind of, sort of. There you go. The federal government has eliminated statutes of limitations for federal civil cases of action relating to child sex abuse.
Because criminal cases are freaking hard to do. It's either impossible or hard.
They don't want it.
No, they don't want to. They don't want to put these people away.
Yeah, because that's one thing that the statute of limitations on that should change.
That should
criminal, so that I don't have to listen to somebody. Yeah, they only are money grabbers.
Want money. Well,
no,
the options are.
Yeah, there's right. It's either be quiet or nothing.
Yeah,
it's be quiet, nothing, or civil.
Right.
I mean, I don't know what else because there's no way you can't with knowing. And this is the one good thing about this law. Here's the bad thing about it. It's not retroactive. So it only applies to claims which haven't happened yet. You see what I mean?
Right.
And it won't revive claims that have already expired. But one thing it did acknowledge that I thought was good. This was the only thing about it. It actually acknowledged that it takes time for a person to report it, to come forward, to say something. It actually says in there that it could take 30, 40, 50. Some people never do. So it really... I mean, I thought that was good.
Yeah. And you know what? If anybody's ever thinking about, if you get money from it, if that's all you can get, at least good for you. You deserve way more than money. But if that's what you can get from it, just even a little bit of something, get it.
I would love all the survivors.
Drain their account.
Yeah, I'd like
drain their fucking account. They don't need it.
All the survivors. I would love for them to don't work no more. I hope you get enough money that you never have to worry about a bill in your life.
Right.
Take one bit of stress
when
off.
they have to go to work or something. It makes us have anxiety just stepping out of the house.
Well, think about it. Think about the story Bill just told,
right?
And how he has to have FMLA for the PTSD from it, and how he's having encounters with this guy at work. I mean,
there's for the guy who did that to him because now because he might lose money. Like, do you feel bad?
Yeah, it's insane. None. I do. Yeah, I'll tell you. I go back to crime and the crimes and what matters to people. It matters more about the neighbor's garage being broken into than the neighbor's daughter getting raped.
Yep.
I truly believe that. The garage is more personal.
Stolen off their porch.
I feel so violated. But, otherwise, because we found out the neighbor's daughter got hurt.
Yeah.
We just what we wanted to do is shut up.
Right. You know what also I was thinking about too? People get so mad, as they should, if they find out somebody put their hands on a woman, like physical, like punching wise or slapping, right? Well, where the hell is that outrage if they sexually abuse them or rape them?
Right.
Have you noticed that? Oh, dare you put your hands on a woman? But then when it comes to rape and stuff,
you don't hear that.
Right.
I would love. This is a terrible question, so I don't even can't believe I'm going to say it. I wonder if one is better than the other.
Right.
I don't know. Like, would it be easier to just be punched? And me, does the bruising go away than the other thing?
Yes,
right?
It would be better to be punched.
Wouldn't it have been? Probably just better to be physically beat.
Yes.
Because
because then I guess there'd be no doubt then what the hell's happening,
right?
Especially for a child,
right? Exactly, because the one he's not always going to be able to know somebody.
Marks all over it and stuff like that. It'd be easier.
Exactly.
Because I don't know, we're messed up. We're a messed up kind of society a little bit, and especially when it comes to, I know a lot of stuff, but this stuff here makes me crazy because there should be people very upset all across our country with this stuff that goes on. And then this little thing that happened here from the federal government, this thing, I liked it. I was like, okay, here's a win. This is a little bit of a win, but of course it doesn't go far enough. It never goes far enough.
Right.
Because just like the New York State Assembly, just like the assemblyman told us, right? I gotta clip that out. I gotta go back to me and you. I just gotta get the video when he says, he said it on here. There's no appetite for that anymore. Whoa.
Okay. What do you mean appetite?
Yeah.
Appetite. It's either right or wrong. For me, that's how I see it. Was it wrong? Boom.
Speaking of appetite, I asked the little bakery if they wanted to. Speaking of appetite, I asked a little, which I've never tried their shit, and I never will in my life. Never catch me. Rather drop dead. But I asked the little bakery to come out and clear for everybody about Nick D'Angelo, their relationship to him, and all that shit. They haven't said a damn word. So there you go. All I want to say is anybody who can support the little bakery, just know you are supporting Nick D'Angelo and Janelle Fossa. 100%. You could sit there and say, no, I'm not. But guess what? You are. I have a lot of information and proof to back up what I'm saying in live. Just letting you know.
Yeah. No, there's so much that I wish because
they are so sick. But hey, let's hand out free bread. Oh my God, they're so great.
Whatever came of their little crybaby stunt about how the flour was going up.
They're still selling. Now they opened up a whole new place.
I don't think anyone rushed to their aid. We didn't get the big check like Publishers Clearinghouse and what's her name dancing.
They have all these brand new tractors and stuff. They have all this brand new equipment in front of his house, I guess. All this brand new equipment after having some type of fundraiser or whatever. What the hell? You're struggling for flour?
The Mills thing at him too. Well, Deacon Mills did raise their prices.
Yeah, what Deacon Mills got robbed how many times?
They shut down their.
And guess who helped him with that little fundraiser, guys? Nick D'Angelo.
Oh yeah.
Guess who Jason Conti tried getting information for and helping? Nick D'Angelo. Just saying. So next time anybody wants to sit there and praise a little bakery, just know that you're praising a rapist. I had to get that out there because speaking of appetite,
it's sad that you got to hear. But I like their pizza.
But they're so nice. They do so much for the community.
Yeah. But
they don't.
And you know what that is though? I said it on here before. That's the John Gotti way of doing things. I'm going to give you turkeys on Thanksgiving. I'm going to blow some fireworks off, but so everyone loves me. But I'm going to get you.
That's all I see. They do so much for the community.
Raging lunatic murder. And they loved him. They loved him. They actually rioted. Guilty.
Because he gave him turkeys and fireworks.
All I can say is if I lied about anything so far that's ever came out of my mouth, absolutely not. Do I have more than enough proof to back up what I'm speaking on with Jason Conti and all them, absolutely. So I'd be willing to go to court over it. Yeah, it's just a show.
Yeah, no, they are the perfect business to represent the city. Sadly, the city. I mean, they gave them an award. Remember that thing? And they did and we watched. I got to get that too. There's so much I want to get. I'd love to get the video of the day when
I have it.
Do you have it?
Yeah.
What's her
Caroline?
name? She's dancing out with the balloons, like. You know, like it was like Publishers Clearinghouse.
Yeah.
Ed McMahon. They could have all been there. I never seen anything like that.
I mean, taking that check and used it to pursue some rape charges.
Yeah.
You know.
But no,
how dare you?
How dare
you? We're not. Should Nick D'Angelo get an award?
Yeah.
It's coming. I'm guessing.
Most rapes in Niagara Falls.
Let's speak about this. The Niagara Gazette. Come on, you guys have an amazing opportunity to go after the Niagara Action Page right now. They're still out there, and the police chief and everything, and the
mayor.
Yeah, Mark Lori.
Yeah, you got a chance here.
You have a very good chance right now.
He made fools of them.
Oh my God, he just went out there and I want to know if what Nick D'Angelo is saying is true. Are you guys okaying him to have police reports and all this information? Well, I need to know because.
Yeah, we'd like to know.
If criminals are allowed to have this kind of stuff, let me know. And dang, it's hard for regular people to get this stuff. But if all you had to do is be a criminal and shit, oh my gosh.
Well, yeah, and also
and he lies a lot, so I would like to know if he's lying or not.
And I wanted the Gazette to say, anytime you get his name and you're in front of the paper, you got to put what is that you got to say.
Yes.
He is awaiting trial on 12 counts of things. Then they're right there.
Have to say
put in parentheses, right? You want to keep letting people know who he is. Stop. They normalize him by putting him in the paper. It's almost as if it never happened.
Yeah.
That's what pissed me off when I read that.
Oh, but then as you say, like Nick D'Angelo, the attorney out right now, awaiting trial on 12 charges of rape, including a child. That's all you have to say, the truth about it. And there you go. Makes you look more credible.
Yeah.
And they have not done another article saying his trial's in May.
Nope.
No.
The Gazette.
No, the people don't know.
Nobody has.
No.
People are afraid because they.
What are you afraid of?
That girl from Channel.
No.
I mean, you have the card for her.
Well, yeah, my friend Elena actually gave me to a news reporter, a friend of hers from Channel 7 and stuff, and even she wasn't able to do it. They all back out. They all back out at some point because Nick D'Angelo, he has them by the.
Yeah, and you know what else, too? Part of that is they don't care.
No.
These crimes don't matter to them.
Right.
They just don't. It just doesn't mean anything. If people were getting murdered, maybe. If people were, if there was a crime spree going on where people's tires were being punctured or up and down the street, they would do something then. Then the news would jump in because, they're breaking everyone's windshields on College Avenue. We better do something. They're getting raped all over town.
Yeah, the little bakery, though, they're always out doing so much for the community. If Jason Conti, you told me that you were going to sit there and if you saw Nick D'Angelo, you were going to punch him in the face. How about you? Why don't you do something for rape victims, Jason Conti, little bakery? Show us. Do something for the rape victims.
Well, you know what's coming soon before you know it? And this is going to be interesting. April. The month. And we're going to see if we get the falls lit up in turquoise.
Yep.
Oh, that's
what
right.
a bad. It won't be long. We'll get through the winter. And
City Council, anybody, where are you? Is rape okay? Like to use? I just don't understand.
Well, that's why it cracks me up when you see them and they come and want to hug you. You would think maybe because they addressed. I remember they addressed you about the turquoise.
They didn't even know.
But they were saying, "Come to city." You're full of shit. They could have known.
They didn't even.
Yeah. But their guy knew. Chris Borgatti, he knew.
Yeah.
He knew.
How come that's the only one that wasn't told to the city about being lit up? Nobody knew about it.
No, it was not made. It was not lit up for that reason. They wouldn't say it.
No, but Nick D'Angelo, that was his job at one point to help with all that stuff. He was on the what is it called? Beautification.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The beautification.
Yeah, beautification.
Wow.
Fucking year.
All right. We should probably get ready to go. It's already 5 after 7.
We could go up.
I could too.
I hope Little Bakery and all them people are watching. I want them to know. Relay the message back to Jason Conti.
Yeah, it's pretty much the dollar store version of Trisella.
Yeah,
it really is.
I don't know how they could use those ovens and not come up with better products from what.
But I've had it with them. I've had it with what they're just. Yeah, you shouldn't support it. That's like the Niagara Action. Stop. What's the problem?
People actually share the stuff about the Niagara Action, and then they'll go on the Niagara Action and share stuff.
And put their own little. I know.
All you have to do is look. It says Niagara Action.
Just stop. Stop supporting that. And it's so easy. And I'm going to say this: it's so easy for them to share the Niagara action, but God damn it, sometimes share this. I'd like you to share the show.
Share the show.
Share that along the way.
Or do our own newspaper.
Okay. We could do it. Why not?
That's what real news will do.
We'll do it. And I'm not saying Niagara's not going to be in it because I'm tired. I don't want the word Niagara. I'm tired of that stupid ass word.
I think people see the Action 716, but they're not actually seeing that it's what was the real one, the original.
The original Action.
Yeah. So because they don't see the original, but they just see the Action 716 and think, oh, here we go.
Yeah. Right.
But that's not the real news. You know?
Yeah, no, that's exactly, yeah, but people just gotta start paying, just pay attention. That's plain simple. Pay attention and start.
Make it mean something. And that's the only way, because you could shut him down quick.
Yeah.
Real quick.
The Niagara Gazette has the best chance right now to shut him down.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'd love it. Yeah, they really do. Shit. All right, why don't we talk about some phone numbers? Yes. Robin, I'm going to have you do this one, okay?
Okay.
The YWCA, 716-433-6714.
You can reach them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's always a counselor that has their cell phone linked up to that number. You can call if you've been a victim of sexual assault as an adult, as a child. If you know someone that's been affected by it and you want a better understanding, they're there to help. They have advocates that can go with you to police station, hospital, places like that. Even if you've tried another counselor and maybe you want to try something different, I would encourage everybody to give them a try.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they sound amazing.
Yeah, no, they're good. Like I said back when we were talking to Bill, I called and they were great.
Not everybody's a bad person. It's just they're not like there are actually people out there willing to help. Okay, people have bad people everywhere, but there are good people willing to help.
Definitely, yeah.
Anywhere you guys suggest, I would 100% trust.
It was pretty good. They were something else. I'm going to have you do this one. I'll give the number. 888-373-7888. Human trafficking.
Yeah. If you think you know somebody who might be doing, trafficking, or if you thought you saw somebody that might be being trafficked, if you see a kid or a girl or a boy, whatever, and you don't think something looks right, they look like they might be being prostituted or trafficked, whatever, please call this number, because even if that's not the case, they're still going to look into it. Okay. And you're not going to get in trouble. Nothing. It could be anonymous. I think they keep it anonymous, but you could help save somebody. You could help save somebody or put away a trafficker.
Yeah. And that would be
they're
great.
Not always willing prostitutes. If you see a prostitute, they're not willing prostitutes. Most of them are being trafficked. So I would definitely give a call.
And children cannot be prostitutes.
Yes. If you see a child, there's no such thing as underage prostitute. Okay. Right. That's called child sex trafficking. So thank you to the Gazette, though, at least, by the way, for getting rid of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Nick D'Angelo did not get an underage prostitute. Nick D'Angelo trafficked a child from CPS custody.
Right. And we were talking about someone who did that, Lawrence Taylor, when he came up to, and they were praising him the other day. He at 51 years old had sex with a 15-year-old in a thing in New Jersey, and he, again, it was the prostitute thing. He called, and the girl was by gunpoint brought to his room by the pimp because she didn't want to do it, but she ended up saving herself she had her phone and she was able to text her uncle, who was able to get her. But big, the great Lawrence Taylor does this. And
doesn't it make sense to people that a minor it's illegal to have sex with a minor. So how could a minor, they can't make up their plan about having sex, they can't be tricked, they can't be a prostitute, they can't make up their mind,
they can't give consent.
Yeah, they can't give consent.
Yeah. A minor cannot give consent to have sex.
Plain and simple. So they can't be a prostitute.
I'm wondering about the foster stuff too.
That's the worst.
Because I know a case out in Oregon, that kid that used to live around here, hang around Uncle Dave, and that's all he ever talked about when Uncle Dave talked to him, is how he goes and gets prostitutes all the time. Oh my God. And he and whoever he lives with has one foster child after another.
Yep, the foster system is the worst when it comes to trafficking.
And again, the United States leads the world in sex trafficking consumers.
No, we turn a blind eye.
And then And the reason why I brought Taylor up was because he gets away with it, of course. I mean, but they did at least they put him on he's a registered sex offender. At least. Right. But he got away with it. He got away with murder. 988 suicide crisis lifeline. I got to get that commercial. I saw a commercial on TV for it.
Yes.
It's all over the country. Please call 988 simply if you feel in that despair.
You know, Mayor Stein, since you took this off of here, you care so much. Why don't you put up the human sex trafficking in the YMCA one too?
Yeah. Oh, he put this up there?
Oh yeah.
Oh, good for him. Mm-hmm. Oh well, must have been
whoever the other ones.
Of course. Well, please, not within a. He won't get within 100. Well, I'm not gonna because there's too much. Yeah, please. There's too much. I have too much. I can't take it. What do we got here? Comments. Please join Erie, Niagara Dishonorable Honorables and other notorious notables and share your stories there too.
Yes. Go to that page, guys.
Very good.
Stacy wrote.
All right, let's go home. Or you're home. We're home. We're the ones that got to go home. Yeah. You're home. Kind of. Yeah. All right, let's get out of here. Real quick, tomorrow Robin's show will be live at 6 o'clock. And no idea what she's talking about, right? Yeah, we'll find out tomorrow. We'll let you know by.
I'm keeping even myself in suspense.
Maybe it was national politics. Who knows? We are going to do something though on that day when it is election day. We're going to do. It's a big deal, like with the Senate and the House and all that. We're going to do an actual election show with Georgia and all that, and Arizona to see who takes control of the Senate.
I do it. You guys do know about the rape trees. Rape trees, you don't ever heard about that? Well, you know the southern border problem.
Yeah.
The cartels are so in charge of their side of the border. The Mexican army won't even screw with them anymore. And to mock the U.S. authorities, the little bits of guards they leave there now, they're rape victims. They hang their underwear in the trees.
Christ.
Oh my God!
They hang their underwear. They're called rape trees. Sean Hannity reports on this all the time, and so did Tucker. All the time, and he goes, "You can't." And Sean goes, "So many people don't know about this, but they're mocking the U.S. for doing what they're doing, and they're making $20 million a week. $20 million a week. They outgun the Mexican army. Wow. That's how much. And so whoever they're trafficking is at their mercy.
It's amazing that the United States never took action. Oh, and I know you don't want to do it, but military action into Mexico.
Because
holy cow!
Not to get up something, but it's all about intent. It's intended. They want them.
That's right. Here. It's not an accident. Right.
It's absolutely for Democratic votes.
Just like everything, it's never an accident. It's on purpose.
It's on purpose. You don't stop the wall and do other things and then cry that people are coming over your border. They're coming. They're flying over.
And then on Friday, Goal Getters will be back. We'll be talking NFL. We'll give our picks. Yeah. We'll do all that stuff. Get you ready for all the games and college too. And if Aaron Judge tonight's in Toronto, see if he gets number 61. I think he's getting a little nervous in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see if he gets it tonight. Actually, that's what I got. It's already 7:15. Yeah. All right.
He's won already.
Saturday. Wait a minute. Saturday is Falls Count Anywhere. And last week we had a great guest named Black Bart. And Black Bart was supposed to be the Undertaker. This guy's unbelievable. He was originally asked to be the Undertaker, and he turned it down. Black Bart joined us. He has incredible stories with him and Andre the Giant and stuff. So go back and look at it. This week, I don't know, but soon, I think, October 8th or whatever the hell it is?
Yes.
Is going to be the guy. We had Jumping Jim Brunzell. Well, we got the second half of the Killer Bees. B. Brian Blair will be with us. So the Killer Bees.
And if he's interested in doing a podcast too, let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Love to do it. All right, let's get out of here. I could talk. I love doing this so much, and that's my problem.
He could have his own podcast one.
I know.
Oh, absolutely. We could definitely have one. We could absolutely. Yeah, but there'd be a lot of good information though. This here I didn't know about the trees. Robin, look into that, please.
Yeah. But it's not carried by the mainstream media. Those stories are being suppressed. They don't, Well,
let's talk about it with Robin after this one, so people don't give her some ideas.
All right, we're gonna go. See you next week.
Bye.